Today is Saturday, and this is the new framing where the termite damage was around the door. That is how it looks. That's over the top.
He said it had dropped some too, so he shoved it back up there. He said this was like half an inch off on this side, and then that side was like a 3/8 of an inch. So you know, you're basically on a half an inch that was lower than it should have been.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Good thing there's a false ceiling over there because it looked like that plaster's just gonna fall out of there.
Right. So then he mounted this.
Right. Well, he hasn't mounted it yet, but it's there.
And then around the window.
That was the one that was bad.
This is the one that had the bad damage. Let me see if I can. There we go. We don't have electricity. We don't have a light in this room right now, as you saw last night or in the last video. However, this ends up being split up. So I'm having to show you with no light. But this is how they framed it.
And then you stuck me some blocks on that side too. Just give me something to screw into for that window.
Right. You said that this window wasn't screwed into anything, right?
Held in by that little frame.
I don't know if you can see that or not. It's so dark through here. But there is wood. Oh, there we go. It got brighter just now. There is wood going up in there.
Yeah, but this window, they literally slid it in place and put these little these trimmer pieces of wood in. And that's what's holding the window in, because there's supposed to be screws in these holes on the side, and there's no screws in there.
There's no screws.
No. So literally the window was held in by those little pieces of trim, so I'm glad I didn't pull them off.
Yeah.
The window.
Yeah, it would have fallen down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Guido's trying to. He's like, "Where's the people?" This is the termite damaged wood that came out from by that door. And yeah,
that wasn't supporting anything.
Yeah, no, you're making a mess. But anyway, just wanted to show you how bad it was, because it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
You probably can't see, this is probably too dark, but we used the remainder of our insulation to go around the windows to fill in those frames, and then this was all we had left. So this probably looks really stupid, but the toilet is right on the other side of this wall. This is where that chimney was, and the toilet is like right there. So we had like 3 full sheets left, but we had to cut them funny because this is so wide where that chimney was that we had to cut it, instead of putting it in long ways like these, we had to cut it the other way. So anyway, but we used up the rest of the insulation, so we didn't lose any money on that. And
it's just for soundproofing.
It's for soundproofing because the toilet's on the other side, and that way we don't waste our money. There's no point in putting it up in the attic; it won't be used. So this should help a little.
Get everything hung out for you today. We'll be back every day this week, or we should, to get this thing finished.
They finished drywalling, and this is how it looks. And Kevin, and they also covered up the hole in the ceiling. I just realized that.
Yeah.
They covered up the little piece in the corner, and then they put drywall here. Now, Kevin, what will they do next? I don't know what the next step is.
They will tape all the seams, all the cracks, all that stuff. They'll seal them up with tape.
Okay.
And then
Just like in the dining room.
yeah.
Okay.
They'll put like a nylon tape or whatever over top of every crack and crevice.
Uh-huh.
And then they'll put that drywall compound or mud over top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And sand it. And
So will they do that tomorrow?
he was gonna come tape it all, you know, and fill in like a place like that, but also all these little cracks. They're gonna tape over all that. And then once they get that all taped off, then they'll mud it, like I said, and then they're gonna do something with the ceiling. They're gonna have some kind of big mesh stuff they put over the ceiling. I don't know exactly what it is. They said it's fairly new, and they'll do that. And then And they'll start mudding it out, and smoothing it all out, and sanding it, and all that stuff. So.
Okay. Kevin wanted to test a little spot on the floor, I guess, to see how well it'll clean up. Is that why you're doing that?
I really just want to see what the wood look like underneath.
What do you think? It was never touched.
No, it's,
I mean, it's like raw wood.
yeah, I don't think it's ever been sealed or anything.
Do you think we'll be able to use it?
You know what? Maybe. Once it's sanded off.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like it's had something on it before.
You think so?
That looks like it's doing a polyurethane or something like it.
Okay, it's Monday the 28th, and the guys were here, and Kevin, what'd they do?
They taped on the wall, the seams. You can see the tape on all the seams, and they mudded over just a
They
quick mud. It's just like I don't know how to describe it. It's joint compound.
Okay.
They call it that.
Okay.
Covered all the nails, screw holes, and all that. stuff.
Oh, yeah? No, they sure did.
No.
So,
Don't touch it. It's wet right now, but it has to dry.
okay. So what, are they coming back tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll be out tomorrow to do another coat.
Uh-huh.
He said it's like a 3 or 4 day process, and they'll do it in steps.
Oh, okay. Today is Tuesday, and the guys just left. They were here probably, I don't know, an hour. They just had to recover all the seams again, put another layer over everything. And we'll have to, I guess, let this dry, and then they'll be back again tomorrow.
Yeah, we had the cabinet guy from Lowe's come. He's just a contractor for Lowe's. He doesn't work for Lowe's. But he came out and did final measurements on the wall since we have the drywall up now. He measured everything out. He said everything will fit really good. He said the only problem we're going to have is the refrigerator fits like this far away from the register. And he said in the wintertime it might make your refrigerator run a little more often than it should because it's going to think it's colder than it is. I don't understand.
Oh, because it's going to be right there? Oh.
He said we could probably get a new kind of register that
Right.
vents out this way, that points, like instead of going side to side vents, if you could have
Right.
one that's tilted this
Oh,
way.
I get it, because the heat in the winter would be going towards the refrigerator.
Yes, the
Okay.
heat's going to go towards the refrigerator, so it's going to
Right.
make you think it's warmer. So
Right.
he said you may want to change out the vents, which we were going to have to do anyway.
Because they're
awful.
horrible. Yeah, they're pretty
They've been
bad.
up and been stomped on for years.
Yeah.
So, but he said you could probably get one that vents this way, and that way it blows it into the room instead of at the refrigerator. So-
Right, that
So
makes
anyway,
sense.
he did all the final measurements. He said that everything looks good. He's going to.
So were the girls' measurements from Lowe's, she did the rough estimates.
And he
Were
said she was
hers-
pretty good.
Okay.
He said, you gained some space when we took the drywall with the plaster in the last
Right.
one. But then they put the really thick, they put 3/8" drywall up here, the thickest drywall I think you can get just about, to bring that back out a little bit. Matter of fact, I was worried about how thick these were gonna be, but they've pretty much put that drywall right up to the framing here, so I won't have too much issue.
What I was concerned with though was like the stove, if
The
it's
stove
gonna
will come
fit.
out- The cabinets will come out to basically right where this hole is.
Okay.
That's how far the cabinets will come out, right in the middle of that hole, he said.
Oh, right in the middle of the hole. Okay.
And the cabinets are gonna run over to right about here.
Oh.
That's where the edge of that cabinet's
Wow.
gonna be. The very last cabinet's gonna be like right here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, which I didn't think she was going that far over, but that's fine. You just have to walk in the room farther
Right.
before you turn, but that's not
Yeah.
that big. I'm
More
stacked.
cabinet space, yeah.
He
So
also
you do have to fix that hole in the floor.
Yeah, and that's what the other idea was. I said I was going to have a hard time matching this floor because it's so old. And he said, well, what you could do is steal some floorboards from over there underneath where the cabinets are going to be, and they're exactly the same. He said, take those out, use them for patching in, and then just put some crappy wood over there. Not crappy, but just it could be anything, pine or whatever we could.
Why
find.
couldn't you use the one with the hole in it over there? If it's going to be covered
if
up.
it's the same size, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and like
That's a great idea.
yeah, and we've got some pieces that had termite damage over there.
Right.
There's like 3 pieces over there.
Yeah,
had
that
termite
one has termite
Maybe even
damage,
4.
and then there's one here that has,
And that one has a little bit right there.
right.
on the edge. So
Are you
there's
gonna
like
be able
3
to
or
get
4
them out
pieces.
from underneath that drywall?
Yeah, you cut them. You cut them out here, and you
I would just use them up underneath the
well,
cabinet.
to get them out, you have to destroy them.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, because what you have to do is you have to saw down the middle of them.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna take this one out.
Mm-hmm,
I'm gonna take and saw 2 slits down the middle of it,
mm-hmm.
and then take my plumb saw and saw the end of it, pry that middle piece out, and then pull the 2 sides out. So you destroy it in the process. You can't
Okay.
really do it. So that's something I'll be experimenting with because I've never done that before. But I've watched videos of it and I've seen people do it. It doesn't look hard. It just looks like the challenge is finding stuff, the wood to match it. But if I can pull up pieces over here, you know, he said anything as long as it's not underneath your refrigerator. He said he would leave that one solid, the original, because your refrigerator is going to be on it. You know, you're going to be able to see underneath of it.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't want to take it out from underneath the refrigerator. But pretty much from like this floorboard over, you know, to way over here to this floorboard, I can almost.
Oh, I forgot we're having a bench underneath that window.
Yeah, we're getting a cabinet here too.
I forgot.
So I can take them all the way from here all the way over to like maybe right here, right there maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's quite a bit of wood there that I can maybe pull out and use in places.
So what happens now? What he took measurements and
sorry,
then
he's gonna. I'm worried like we don't pee on something. Go ahead. He's gonna fax those measurements over to Lowe's tonight, and he said she'll have them in the morning when she gets there. And I'm assuming that she'll call us or call me tomorrow and tell me that she's got everything, the measurements and everything. And he said if we're doing Shenandoah, it'll take about 2 weeks or 4
that's the
weeks.
brand of the cabinet.
Yeah, he said if we're doing those, it'll take about 4 weeks. He said, but they don't give you a set date. It's just like you don't know. You're taking a shot in the dark. You don't know when it's going to come.
Will he be the one to come back and put them in then?
Him or his guys. But I don't know
okay.
if he will be here, but
Right.
it's probably he will probably be here too.
Right.
He said that if it was a different company, like Kraft something, I can't remember the company name. I think it was Kraft something. He said if that was the company, he said if you were to order them tomorrow, within like 3 or 4 days, you're going to get a call from them giving you a very specific date. And he said, let me know, and I will go ahead and put it on the schedule because that's the date they would be delivered. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so he said they're just a better company as far as scheduling goes than Shenandoah is. But, you know,
Right.
maybe we'll ask her about it, you know, those cabinets. I don't know. Maybe it's a
Right.
price thing. Maybe they're more expensive too.
Right.
I don't know. He said the water lines will work. He said they can put the cabinets right on top of them. He said the only thing is that it's kind of far back, so they'll have to kind of deal with them a little bit. And he wished they were a little taller because he said the base of the cabinet's this far up in the air.
Right.
And he said those are right at the bottom. So what they'll
Right.
probably do is put some kind of extensions on there. You know what? I could probably put the extensions on there for them. Because I can turn the water off and put those valves on. I might do that and save them from having to do it. That way it'll be done, and I'll have the steel pipe that screws in there and extend them up, you know, 3 or 4 inches, and we'll see. We'll see if we can do that. So my job I need to do. Oh, he also said before, he said he would not finish the floor out all the way because a lot of these trucks, they put sand in the bottom of these trucks now when they ship them, so they can just lay the box in there and slide them on the sand, and they slide real easy. He said the bad thing is the boxes get sand on the bottom of them, so when they bring the boxes in, you don't want them laying on your floor and pushing it.
But nobody would want that on their kitchen floor.
I know, that's why he said either put plastic and stuff down or don't finish your floor out all the way, and that way it'll.
But I mean, I'm saying I wouldn't
know.
want them coming through my house
They
at
carry
all.
them. They carry
Okay.
them back so far. But
Okay.
he said you never know if they're going to lay it down and just need to scoot it over a little bit
Okay.
and not think about it, and the sand goes and
Right.
scratches your floor. He was just warning
Right.
me.
Okay.
So he said what I would do is I'll probably do 3 or 4 coats of polyurethane in here. And he said if you do 3 coats, do like 1 or 2. And then if they do happen to scratch something up, you can sand or buff that area out, which is what I was going to do between coats anyway. And then just finish your last coat and be done with it. So it sounds pretty neat. That's pretty good. I'm excited.
Kevin is trying to loosen up this one floorboard water lines right here for the refrigerator, and it's not gonna be here anymore, so he's going to cut it off and cap it, right there. And underneath the house right here is so tight that he's thinking if he lifts this board up, he'll just be able to do it all right here.
Yeah, I'm thinking about cutting this right
Wow.
here. Well, I'll be able to pull this board up then, because I
Oh.
can't get this nail out.
Oh, okay, that's fine. And are you gonna, and then nail it back in at that spot?
Yeah.
Like do it for half?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the multi-function,
The oscillating multi-function power tool.
right.
It's an oscillating tool, and I got this at Harbor Freight for $20. And that's the regular price, really. That wasn't even a sale price necessarily. And I'm gonna do this.
At Lowe's, these are about $80.
That's the mid-range, but I think they had one for like 70, 60, maybe they had one for 60, something like that. But that's the tool.
Mm-hmm. What else comes in the box?
And then you get one, let me open it. You get one saw blade, one wood blade, and you get the mounting hardware. So this is the wood cutting blade.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, and that's gonna go on right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it should have, yeah, see it's got little pins that line it up. And you can put it at different angles too. I'm just gonna go straight down, so I'm gonna put that in there. And then it's got the mounting washer and stuff, so. I need to read the directions to see which one goes on where. I think this one goes on the front, but I wanna be sure. So this is how it goes on. It goes on this first, and then you put the big washer cup side down. You can see it's got a little dent in it. That goes down. And you put this washer there, and the screw goes on top of that. And you just tighten it. And it's got the Allen wrench. So it won't vibrate loose. And it doesn't move, so we're good. I wonder if there's a place to put this at.
Oh, to keep it with it?
Yeah, but there is, I don't see anything, so I guess not. No, I'll keep it in the boxes. I'll probably put this back in the box anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought an extra tool too, so. And I'm gonna cut right in the middle of this board, right on this side of the nail.
Okay.
Should be able to pry it up now. Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna have to cut that just a little bit.
Are you sure you can do
I'm not
that
gonna do it
without-
until I get the water off.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I'll turn the water off before I do that. Well, I tell you what, that is pine. You
Why
smell
do you, yeah,
That's pine.
okay.
Or it sure smells like pine wood.
Yeah.
Doesn't it smell like a
It's-
pine rosin?
yeah.
Like a pine saw or something? I'm hoping there's not a nail underneath there. If there is, I might just have to deal with it. I can at least get under there. If you look, I can Tammy to hold that up. Oh yeah, I'll be able to reach that.
Yep,
Because I'm gonna cut with this.
right,
Yeah, once I get that board out of the way, I'll cut this little snip off right here. I'll be able to take this board around and even just scoot it over to the side a little bit, or even get Tammy to hold it up in the air.
yeah.
And then I'll be in good shape.
Kevin's gonna turn the water off to the house, and what was it, covered up with that black thing?
Yeah.
That was on top of that. And then you stick this big, long bar down on the ground. You couldn't do this quickly, that's for certain. And you just turn it to the right?
Yeah, it only goes one way. be it.
That should be it.
Yeah. So let's just go.
See if,
There's just a little valve in there that's like goes like this.
right.
So I just turned it across the pipe. And that should be it. Now I already turned the cold water on in this bathroom. Matter of fact, when you turn the water on there, you don't have to right now, you can in a second. But we're gonna turn the cold water on just to relieve all the pressure. And then I'm just gonna make sure there's no pressure in this before I cut this piece of wood and that piece of plastic off. So go ahead. Well,
I think I'm gonna need a bucket.
I wonder why that's still coming out though. They had a lot more pressure than I thought behind it. I'm not sure why, but it's pretty much done now. Thank goodness. I was wondering if I was going to have to figure out somewhere else to turn it off. I didn't know. I was kind of worried about it.
So what do you
there
have
for
to
a
do
minute.
now?
I'm going to cut this little notch out right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I should be able to cut it even without it touching the thing, but you never know.
Do you want me to hold it up or something?
Now, if you want to hold this side up just to keep, yeah, so I can hold it a little bit better. Don't have it right up against that. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it right here.
Below the floor?
Below the floor.
Uh-huh.
And I think it'll be fine.
And then cap it off. And we bought a cap.
Yeah, and we're worried about it being the right size. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
but we looked for one smaller than what we got, and they didn't have one, so. Are you sure this is okay to cut pipe with, this tool?
Yeah, it's fine. If I cut right there, will that go below the floor line? I think so. I'll do it right here.
Yeah, go down. As long as it doesn't drop down there when you get it.
I tell you what, there's an awful lot of water coming in.
That dust is awful. Is there still water coming out of it?
Mm-hmm.
New water?
Yeah.
So Kevin went to Lowe's. The cap we got was too big, and they don't have a smaller size.
A lot too big.
A lot too big. So Kevin consulted with somebody at Lowe's, and they recommended he remove the old pipe from this top because it fits perfectly, and reuse that to cap the pipe off in the floor. So right now that's what he's doing. Surely it's not like soldered on there or something.
No, it's a compression fitting. You just got to get it out of there.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna fight with that for a little while.
Yeah, so I'll be here for a minute.
Okay, what are you doing now?
Okay, took this apart, took it off the old pipe. It has this little ring, this little copper band around it that this will fit up and this will fit on top of. I can't slide it really down any further on that pipe because it's super, super tight. Well, I can get it down a little bit. But my thinking is this is probably going to push it down further, so I'm not too stressed about it. But, so anyway, I'm going to put this here. No, that's not gonna work. I need to push that down further. Because that is not going to push that down far enough, I don't think. So I'm going to have to push, I'm going to have to somehow work that down further, and I just don't know how to do it. Might be something I have to go watch a video of.
Okay, he's gonna try it out. He just banged on it a little bit.
With a screwdriver.
With a
Handle with a
The
screwdriver.
handle of a screwdriver just banged on it a little bit, so now he's gonna try it.
All I can do is leak, right?
Huh?
I said all I can do is leak, right? And then
Do you
I
have to
it back
tape
off.
it with anything, or no?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to try something different. I still don't think it's all that far enough. I'm going to get a long flathead screwdriver and tap it down.
Okay.
I really need to.
You want me to put my hand
hold
on
the
there to
pipe.
hold it?
Yeah. Got channel locks, and I really literally just grabbed it and twisted it and pushed down at the same time, and I got it down pretty far. Now it's far enough down where I can just lay that right on top of it. So now I feel comfortable in tightening it up. Now the fun begins.
Why?
Got to tighten it up in this little space.
Oh. Okay, I'm not going to be able to tape this part for a minute because Kevin's going to call me on his phone. But he's going to go turn the water back on outside, and he told me to let him know if it drips even a little bit. So I'm just going to sit in here and watch for that. Okay, we just got off the phone. It was leaking the first round, so he had to come back and tighten it back up. And I mean, he really tightened it. And now the water's on, and it's not dripping at all. I don't see any dripping. So he's on his way back in. I told him he could look at it himself too, just make sure. But you can hear it when it drips because there's some sort of like plastic under here. And since I don't hear any dripping at all, I'm sure it's going to be fine. It moved a little bit when it did that. What did you do?
Turn on let the air out of those.
Oh, he's going into the bathroom and turning the water on in the bathroom. But it moved a little bit, but that was it. It moved more with my bathroom than it did. Right. So that's normal?
So you haven't touched it or anything?
Nope, haven't touched it, haven't heard any dripping at all.
Ultimate test. Nope, dry as can be.
Yay!
Cool. Well, I'm glad that worked because I was worried. Yeah, it's dry as can be.
So now what do you do? Put the piece of floor back?
Yeah, I'm just gonna nail it in place with regular nails. I got some big nails.
We hammered the board back in place, and we're going to get it tighter when we get the nail gun out. But for right now, that water line is gone. Yay! So we have nothing weird sticking out of the floor now, but nothing that shouldn't be.